While it is the summertime, I'm going to be probably filming some videos in which I'm reflecting back on my experience as a student, like when I was a student. And the reason I do this is because every summer I would think about school a lot, although I wasn't in school. And I would always look forward to it starting, but then when I was actually in school, I was ready for the summer to come because I just loved to be off and be able to rest and go to bed at any time that I wanted and play video games. I liked that sense of freedom that I had. It was a very lonely time in my life and some sad times, but it had its beauty. And as I speak about my school experience, bear in mind that what makes me feel that push is the fact that I aspired being a teacher. But sorry, that was way too bright, and now I feel like it looks better on my face and feels better on my face, but now my background looks like crap. Now I feel like I'm too dark. Looks fair. I'll figure out my lighting game someday. You know what? Forget about it. This is gonna be it. But, anyways, as I was saying, I just liked school. I really wanted to be a teacher. I felt like I could do it. My mom was a teacher. So I felt like I really wanted to follow her footsteps. Presently, I don't feel that calling that I thought I had back in the day to do so. And I'm actually pretty happy with that. What turned me off about teaching in the present is that politics get in the way too much. Like, politics interfere with education and the path that can be taken and the decisions that can be made. And I simply do not see myself undergoing that stress and being happy with what I'm doing. Yes, I would have loved to have the opportunity to shape the minds of the women and children of the future, but the education system is just not the way for me to go about it. I wouldn't be happy, and it's important for me to think about myself as I do this, given that it's a lifelong commitment and it's important to bear stuff like that in mind. So instead, what I like to do is approach people who I feel I can help on a one-on-one situation that allows me to get close to them, be a little more personal with them, get to know them better to where I can give them advice that's going to be useful for them and practical. And I also feel like I have control of my time and also respect their time. We can meet up however we want to meet up. Like, we don't have to be looking professional, we don't have to be following a plan, we don't have to be stressing out about students making a good score so that I get to keep my job, because otherwise those scores are used to determine my performance as a teacher, and it doesn't get serious by taking into account other factors that play into how a student performs or a classroom as a whole performs. So for that reason, I got turned off. I feel like everybody can learn enough just with life, like the experiences that you go through, the people you meet, those who are older than you, those who have been doing something for longer than you have. Learning from them really is enough. It's relevant to you. You also don't have to be looking at it as a business. School is a business. You have to plan ahead and really have all of that situated before you pursue it, because it is expensive and it'll break you for a long time. And also, I feel like being a teacher is just way too stressful, because inevitably you will have to do work at home. And I'm one of those people who I like to associate something individually. Like my room, I associate it with sleeping, winding down, relaxing. My kitchen is for eating and, cleaning dishes and stuff like that. So it's not my favorite. It's my favorite spot in the house whenever food is ready, but it's not my favorite spot in the house whenever it's dirty. And then the living room is my place to be hanging out with people, spending time with people, conversing, and just creating fond memories with other people. Being at school, being an instructor, being a teacher would definitely affect that, because I would have to pick a room in the house for me to continue my job. And that's also unrewarded. That's unpaid. It's a very tedious aspect of being a teacher, but the reward that you personally get is so little. And yes, you might say, oh, but you shouldn't look at it that way. If you're really teaching out of the vocation for it, you won't think that way. You won't think about the monetary compensation. Let's keep it real. I cannot be investing time in something that's not going to help me build up for my future, because I'm young now, but I'm not getting younger. And people just don't get younger. And it's good to be thinking about the future. What you do during these years will determine what kind of future you want to have. I want to have a comfortable one, because it's only fair. I'm working hard now, so the least that I can expect to deserve, or the least that can be expected for me, is to live a good life where I can rest and just feel good. I don't think it's fair that you invest a lot of your time and you personally don't get a whole lot of gain. Although it's important to invest in young people and shaping their minds and everything, you can't do everything for them. Like, there's stuff that their parents gotta take care of, there's stuff that they have to learn on their own, and you can only get so close to them before it becomes unhealthy. It's hard to explain. It's like, in my mind I get it, but projecting it, it's kind of the challenge. If I were to go back to high school, something that I would do differently is not be so shy. Being shy deprived me of so many great opportunities. Being shy made me not challenge myself the way that I could have. I could definitely have made some good friends and maybe stay in touch with them, but I didn't, because I was just so freaking shy. Shyness got the best of me. Any of you folks out there who are struggling with this, where you feel lonely or you're really alone or anything like that, just go out there, expose yourself to people. For me, it took me until the end of my senior year to really start opening up a little bit and making some friends and connections, and I regret that I did that so late into the game. Unfortunately, at least for me, given that my mind was like really different from everybody else, I didn't really know that many people who I could say, hey, you and I are pretty similar, or we are different to where we can be tight with each other, so let's hang out, do things. Never met anybody like that. Just 3 people, but we all at some point, just life took us in a direction where we were no longer compatible to be friends tightly like we were. Definitely be more involved. Don't let shyness get the best of you. Challenge yourself and really have fun, because there are ways to have fun in school. Politics will interrupt that from time to time. Depending on your maturity as a student, you'll see through that. Depending on the transparency of your teachers as well, because a lot of the things that I found out thanks to my teachers, who were transparent and told us things the way they were. I hope that that's some good advice for some of you out there who may be struggling with the high school experience or school in general. It would have helped me be a more self-confident person, that the trivial things and feelings that I had that impeded me from being the best that I could be wouldn't have affected me. A lot of my worries, a lot of my concerns, a lot of my sadness, it was just trivial. It was all in my mind. I'm sure that if I would have reached out to the proper people at the right time and remained consistent with it, I would be so much better now, personally. And I'm making it sound like you gotta rely on other people for your success. It's not about that. It's just that interpersonal skills are important, and that's something that I lack. Face-to-face, me making that initial approach is something that I still struggle at. And if I'm surrounded by a group of people, it's just not happening. On a one-on-one, I can do it. I can feel the push for it, but as a group, and that's something that I wish I could change now. Filming helps because I get to speak. I feel like I stutter a lot, really, to tell you the truth. I'm so glad that I can edit videos now because according to my timer, this is 15 minutes and 12 seconds already. But yeah, you guys, that was just me rambling about some thoughts that I had, and I hope that you guys found it useful or relate to any of it, and maybe have any advice for me or any advice for anybody in the future who may see this video, and they may scroll through the comments and they'll see your input and have their lives changed for the better. For me, being online at the time helped me with some things, like I would read funny jokes and watch people's videos about the stuff that they would do, and I'm like, hey, even though some things are scripted and staged, people are having fun. Why am I not having fun with other people? So it's a way to just help you open up. All right, you guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. That is all that I have for you at the moment. I will see you soon.